Welcome to Ecomm Cowboy. This is D2C's daily show where we believe advertising is awesome, ignorance is expensive, and the American dream is alive and well on the wild web today. It is Monday, August 3rd, 2026, in the year of our Lord. We're coming to you live and in living color from a beautiful yet undisclosed location hidden in the Austin, Texas hills. We're brought to you by Slash and Rocked, After Sales, Tati, Proxima, Universal Ads, Tide, Trend Track, Propel, new sponsor on the show, Rich Panel, Intelligence, Northbeam, Seguno, and Postscript. And boy, do we got a jam-packed show for you today. Phantom discounts apparently are a problem. Nike and Lululemon being sued, among many others. Are they taking all of the tools away from every tool in every marketer's belt? Snapchat says stop the slop. They want to reward authentic creativity alone. Important, perhaps a trend inside all of the various social medias that we frequent every day. $1 billion for your Slack data. Methinks I'm up for that offer. Whoever is giving that, apparently the Frontier AI Labs are. And some interesting stats from the world's biggest goodwill that I think points to a very important trend inside of consumer. We're going to be joined by Oscar Adelman, founder and CEO of Remi today, fixing everyone's teeth as we all would like to have. We're going to be joined as well by Alan Cevallos, co-founder and COO of Media Jet Marketing. We're also going to be joined by two guest hosts at the front of the show today. As always, I am joined by my partner in crime, Colin Dougherty. Get in here, Colin. Get inside the show.
Yo.
It's a big day. It's a big day, Colin, specifically for two reasons. Number one, Chase Mohseni is coming back to us, and it could be that his video is like fixed forever at this point.
Let's go.
We're also going to be joined by Chris Orzy of Internet Lore. We need to welcome first Chase inside of the show. Everybody, welcome the one and only Chase Mohseni, co-founder, CEO of CreativeOS.
Oh, let's go.
I don't know where that came from. Chase, I hate to break it to you, brother. We got to turn that hat around.
Flip.
You're wearing the hat backwards. You are. There we go. Look at him now.
California.
Gosh. Chase, I'm not sure if we got that video fixed, brother, but you do look as cool as ever in that cowboy hat. You look great. Fantastic. Even.
Well, we got a co-host here to help out if I fail. So
we have a co-host here.
Yeah.
We must bring him inside of the show. One of the internet's favorite paisans, the reincarnation of Tony Soprano. We must welcome Chris Orzy inside of the show of Orzy Media. Get in here, Orzy. Get inside this show. There he is.
What's up, everybody?
We got to move him up. We got to move him. Oh, gosh. We got to work on those camera angles, gentlemen. I mean, there we go. Look at him. Now we can see everyone. Chase, you look like, bro, in that hat, you look like you belong in Austin, Texas.
That's
brother.
Great.
I think it's time. I think it's time for you to move to Central Texas.
Send the PJ.
I'll send the PJ. We will send the PJ to you. Gentlemen, top story of the day, the current thing, as one could say. Phantom discounts, apparently no bueno anymore. Perhaps they're taking every tool out of every marketer's belt. This story comes to us by way of Modern Retail. Thank you, producer Jack. Nike, Lululemon, among others, hit with lawsuits alleging deceptive phantom discounts. What is a phantom discount? It's when you got a price and a strike through and you're offering something nice, a little framing of said price. Apparently that's a no-go. That's a baddie. Retail industry facing significant surge in legal scrutiny as, quote, phantom discount practices come under fire. In recent weeks, major global brands, Lululemon, Nike, have been hit with subject of lawsuits alleging deceptive pricing strategies where products are marketed with dubious, quote, regular prices that make sale prices appear more attractive to consumers. That's bad. Don't do that. That is a no-no. Legal and marketing experts note that these types of advertising practices have existed for decades. That's correct. They have. However, the recent increase in consumer filings suggests a growing trend that could continue to reshape advertising practices. This is an example here. One of the plaintiffs here alleges that in April, she purchased a pair of Lululemon's Wonder Train high-rise tights in which the listed price of $59 was accompanied by a strike-through price of $98. kind of crazy to me that Lululemon, you can buy anything for $59. I thought these used to be $180, $300 a piece. Crazy. Anyway, Cody says that those tights hadn't been sold on Lululemon's website for the full $98 price since October of 2025.
Wow.
And that is a no-no. This comes just days after Nike was hit with a similar fake advertising lawsuit earlier this month. Gentlemen, I throw it over to you. We'll start with you, Colin Dougherty. I kind of just feel like they're taking every tool out of our belt. But I don't know. Maybe marketing is just fancy lying at the end of the day. Anyway, Colin Dougherty, your reaction to this, sir?
Yeah, I think only the big people are only the big companies are gonna be dinged with this. I don't think really the smaller folks that are not operating at kind of like a post-billion-dollar revenue number are gonna be affected by this. I don't know specifically why they decided to go after these companies individually. I found it really interesting that it was just kind of these few companies. Again, I think it's a rounding error for them. They're going to have to pay the fines, but you could probably chalk this up to cost of doing business for them with the revenue that they were able to generate from doing it this way. So net, it's probably a wash, but I don't see them going after the 7-8 figure business owners for this. I just don't think it's small potatoes, quoting Spider-Man Brand New Day, not big potatoes.
Or Orzy, Chris Orzy, your thoughts on this, sir? Do you like it? Do you hate it? What do you make of this?
I mean, I just have questions. Like, was it that they couldn't move the inventory and it was an actual like sale that they had, or they just their strategy like internally was like, oh, we're just going to mark down specific items? Because obviously, like if you're going to discount, like especially like with fashion brands, like they have to move. You know, if it's fast fashion or whatever, like they have to move that inventory, right? And they have to just get anything. Like a lot of companies kind of follow that cycle. You know, they'll release their jackets in September, and then by March they're like 80% off or whatever, right? So I wonder like what actually happened there. If it is, because if it is like, hey, we just need to move this and we're giving you a discount, and once it's gone, it's gone. Like I think that's perfectly fair to do. Again, like I'm not the judge here, but kind of weird. I think at the end of the day, though, overall, just to protect yourself, you got to learn how to sell without discounts, and that is not too difficult if you know what you're doing.
Bars! It's from Orzy. Okay.
Some people have figured it out. Some people, I'll just say.
Dang.
Some people have figured it out. Chase, which we can see the tats today, and the tats are looking glorious, by the way. Your tats are looking awesome. Chase, I mean, part of this makes me wonder, like, do I have to keep a record on my website now forever and hereafter? Here's what this was always priced at. It just seems a little unfair to me.
When you're a big brand, people are going to come after you, and they're going to find a way to get litigious. It's kind of an unfortunate. It's an unfortunate part of just being in business. I think to Chris's point, people have sold things at full price for years. It's really predicated on your offer and what people value in the market. Like this being something that's happening to Nike and Lululemon. If you look at the last couple of years of both those brands, they have really struggled to cut through.
That's true.
It makes sense that this is happening to those brands. I think the thing is, this is just the game that everyone has played forever. So, like Colin said, it's just a write down. It's part of the game, and a couple of people are going to come and sue you, and that's just what it is. But maybe just get better at actually telling your brand story, so people want to pay $180 for your leggings. I think like competition is really the biggest challenge in all of this. Like when Lululemon started really pushing 10 years ago plus, there was no one competing with them. Now they've got to compete with Aloe. They've got to compete with a bunch of other brands that have come in. Vuori has women's now. There are like a bunch of knockoff brands that essentially they have the same supplier in China, so the quality is just as good, but it's 50%. It's 50% cheaper. So
True.
You're competing on brand at this point now, and if you haven't done a good job of investing in that, you're not going to be able to sell at full price. So like this really just comes back to how much are you investing in brand and how much like impact is that having on your customers? And clearly based off of this pricing, it's not doing its job.
Here, the part of this that I don't like, here's what I don't like. I don't like that if I do this, there's some fear in the back of my mind. Hey, how long's that strike through been up there? hey, are you lying? Are you lying to us? You know, what potentially could happen? And I know this is largely, it's the big boys who are going to be affected by, you know, a few tangential lawsuits perhaps. But I will say, friend of the show, the one and only Rob Friend, was quoted inside of this article. He says there are about twice as many lawsuits filed in 2025 compared to 2024. But he says they've always been popular. He doesn't know why there has been such an increase. Part of my point here is that this framing around price, availability, et cetera, is it actually sold out? Are there only a few left? You know, part of this is just, it is a tool in the tool belt of every marketer. And what I would say is, you know, some of this, is it lying? Okay, well, maybe it is. But also, like, one of the biggest lies that we tell every single day in marketing and advertising is, hey, shop this sale now. You're going to save 50% off. No, I'm not. I'm giving you my money. I'm giving you 50% of my money. I mean, you know what I'm saying? There's a lot of ways that you could craft this and find like, oh, everybody's lying everywhere all the time. I'm not, you know, some of this is just framing, and it's like part of the game. I don't like that this perhaps could be sought out in so many other ways as the K-shaped economy develops and everybody's looking to save another dollar here or there. I don't want to have this in the back of my mind that perhaps I'm going to get sued. Final thoughts from anyone here on the panel on this? I don't want to live in fear. I just want to be able to use the usual tools that we have all used for several decades.
I think Lululemon should 5x their prices. I think they're going the wrong direction. It's like, you can't afford to wear this. Like,
yes.
Make the play. Like, go up market, because you're not going to win a race to the bottom. Like, if you can go on Amazon and order something similar, it's got to become a status symbol, right? Like, it's got to be like, you have to be at a certain level of wealth in order to afford this. And it's not like they're the first ever apparel brand to do that. I mean, there's brands out there selling t-shirts for hundreds of dollars or thousands of dollars, even in some cases, right? Like, I don't know are you going to run faster to the bottom? Like, what's the other strategy? I mean, it's crazy, but I don't know. What are you going to do?
Yeah. Rough.
I mean,
and
I think one big point to plus one with what Chris just said is, when they first started, that's where they lived. We were like, oh, right, this is such an incredible opportunity for us to feel like we're a part of something special. The more you go down to the bottom, you become one of hundreds. The challenge with all of these companies is, I think remember, maybe we talked about it, guys, like a month and a half ago, but their founder has been really frustrated with the management of the company. And he's talked about how there's no juice in the company anymore. And it's just people managing to a spreadsheet, which you need to do while having that kind of like 20% electricity put into the business. And I think like a marketing is what they did before. And they've gotten into kind of performance hell at this point, where they're like, okay, well, if we just do this, we'll hit our numbers at the end of the month. And not understanding the reason Lululemon skyrocketed in the first place was it was a premium product that made people feel like they were buying into a life that either they lived or was aspirational to them. So you were excited to find on Poshmark, I'm using Poshmark as an example, like a $90 pair. Now you're like, dude, that $90 pair, what a fucking ripoff. You know? So I do think that there is something there where, like, the more we push ourselves up and we're not afraid of that, and it's like, I would rather have, you know, one customer paying me $250 than 5 customers paying me $50. And again, like, I deal with this every day. We're like dealing with CreativeOS. We're like, man, it would be really nice to get 6 customers now that would, you know, equal out to 1 customer. Like, it's just better to have. It's the Hormozy. Get rich people to pay you lots of money.
Yeah.
Right. It's just a more durable business. So I think definitely they're going the wrong direction, but they've lost the plot on their brand. That's really what
they want. They need $1,000 pair of leggings. That's what they need. $1,000 a pair.
Oh,
because think about it. Like, I'm here, boots on the ground in like upper middle class suburbia over here in North Jersey, right?
Yeah.
Like, everyone's in the finance world. Like, that's definitely the demo for this product. And like, aloe, however you pronounce it, like, that became like the new thing. And I'm sure in the next 2 to 5 years, there will be another new like hot status brand. And like, these people want nothing more to flex and be able to like, look what I got that you don't got, right? Like $1,000 leggings, like, that's the move. Lululemon, if you're listening, holla at your boy. Hire me. Let's run it up. Let's do it.
$1,000 leggings. Final word from you, Colin Dougherty. What does Nicole think of Lululemon? I mean, just
terrible.
Is
Absolutely
it terrible?
terrible. No, she's really into this kick right now where she does this like monthly subscription called Newly. I don't know if you guys have heard of Newly, but it is newly damaging my credit card. But basically you can basically get like new items every single month, and then you just send them back, and then you like select them and you can keep them and all that jazz. It's one of those, but it's newly destroying me. I also think that all of these companies have tranches of lawyers to dispute and push this back. And so they're, they have the ability to defend themselves, where like a 7-figure brand would kind of be decimated if something like this were to come across. Whereas Nike has like, okay, you want to push this over to me? I have 20 lawyers that are going to look through this for like their entire week, and this is all they're doing. Where it's like, oh,
their entire year.
Yeah, their entire year. They could just like keep pushing paper around.
Methinks that the $1,000 pair of leggings is the move. And we are moving forward, ladies and gentlemen, to our stories of the day. On our way, a word from our sponsors over at Sati. Play us for it, producer Jack. Your affiliate program, it looks fine on paper. Commissions going out, sales coming in, but the industry is built on last click attribution. It's an oversimplification of affiliates as a channel. Sati is the first affiliate platform built on multi-touch attribution, cookieless, Shopify native, services who introduced your customer, who nurtured them along the way, and who closed the sale. So you're no longer just looking at a flat list of commission payouts. You have a map of how your affiliate channel moves people through the buying decision. Go to mysati.io/champion/ecom-cowboy. Get 20% off your plan. Many thanks for Sati being part of the show. Gentlemen, among the platforms we all spend our money on and spend our time on, one has stood out here as of late. This actually came out live while we were on the show on Friday. Snapchat has said, stop the slop. I think adequately coined here, not coined, but framed by the one and only Evan Spiegel. Snap had this to say on Friday: going forward, wholly AI-generated content will no longer be eligible for distribution on Spotlight. Methinks this is like their For You page. Okay, I don't know because I'm not a frequent Snap user, but they say our goal is simple: reward authentic, human-made content and help original creators reach an audience. They are saying that they are seeing experienced creators and everyday Snapchatters embrace Spotlight as a place to share their original content. Apparently, you can say, yeah, send this to Spotlight, I guess, for discovery. And with the number of unique Spotlight contributors globally up more than 120% compared to last year. At first, when I read this, seemed a little bit like a nothing burger. It's like, okay, you're not going to feature wholly AI generated content on the For You page of Snapchat. I mean, okay. But, Evan came in a little stronger with the stop the slop phrase. And I wonder if, YouTube is cracking down. I think erased 120,000 AI generated channels as of late. Perhaps this becomes more of a thing inside all of the various platforms as the wave of AI-generated content continues to roll forth, and looking to incentivize perhaps a little bit more of a human touch. We start here with you, Chase Mohseni. Your thoughts on this, sir?
First, I love it for all of us content creators. Like, there is nothing better than people interacting with human beings. I think what is happening now is these channels are starting to see their foothold in the industry starting to lessen, because these companies are getting so big, the OpenAIs, the Anthropics, and they don't want to be completely subservient to them, because now like all AI content has taken over all of the platforms. So I believe this is a play to say, hey guys, you want to use this for your back-end workflows, we have no problem with it. But if you're trying to make sure that the back-end workflow to create on Snap or on YouTube or TikTok, or whatever, TikTok still hasn't done this, they love it, but just use those two as an example. We don't want people to be doing that. We want people to be making content that keeps people engaged, that increases the human element. It doesn't make it so that we become just like vassal states, if you will, to OpenAI and Anthropic. So I think this is kind of a, hey, we're saying that we just want to help the people. Yes, that's point A. Point B, oh, let's go. Point B is we are trying to take care of ourselves by not being like parts of the open AI economy. So that's my general take on that.
Chris, Orzy, your thoughts on this, sir? Good, bad, left, right? Is Facebook going to adopt this, and maybe all of the boomer moms will stop being tricked by the various AI slop? You like this? You love it? What do you make of it?
Oh, the boomers love the AI stuff. I mean, and that's kind of like the load-bearing audience, at least on like Meta, as far as I'm concerned. So, like, I don't know about them. I didn't even know Snapchat was still around, so that's good to know. Good for them. I don't use it. I mean, I use Twitter. That's all I do. I don't use any other app in like a long time. What I think too is and this is purely anecdotal, obviously. Like some people might have a different experience, but I talk to a lot of people who are like, once they recognize that someone's just putting stuff out with AI like all the time, it's almost like, I got no reason to pay attention to this person anymore.
True.
And there could be a number of reasons for that. It could be like maybe they don't respect the lack of effort, or I'm not saying that there's no effort, there's a little bit, obviously, right? Or it could just be like, well, this was computer generated. It's not really like anything I can just go straight to AI instead of watching this person's content, right? So it could be a number of different things, but I agree with Chase. I almost view it might be one of those things where, like, if the overarching sentiment is that negative, like from a long-term business perspective, maybe they're like, if we let AI just take over every single thing on this platform, does that hurt our business long term if a large percentage or a growing percentage of people are starting to kind of like turn against the AI content? So again, I'm not in the boardroom, like I don't know what was discussed, obviously, but that could be one possible explanation. I mean, I love AI. I use it all the time. Do I think it's like the messiah, like a lot of people do? No, absolutely not. Right. I think it's useful. I think it's cool. It helps me out a lot of stuff. But it's weird. Like all the clients who come to us, the number one thing they say is they're like, whoever we're working with is just copying and pasting stuff from AI, and they don't love it. Ooh. So I've seen a lot of pushback. I think also when you add on top of all of this, the way that the AI companies have been marketing themselves has been like a massive
horrible.
The wrong way to do it. Like, we're going to take your jobs. You're going to be on UBI. You're going to be permanent underclass. Like, we will, lease you knowledge. And I'm just like, every week it's just another like just epic fail of like I don't know who's running the market. But it's like maybe that's not. And then you got people protesting the data centers as a result of this, and blah blah blah. It's like everything on the rollout for these companies over the last few years has been like the complete wrong way to do it. So it could just be that in general, they're just looking at the way the wind is blowing in terms of AI sentiment. And they're like, maybe we should, kind of like how Apple did the positioning towards privacy, even though it kind of got like annoying. Like I actually hate on my iPhone when I'm like trying to enter my email. It's like hide my email. I'm like, that is the most useless feature ever, but that's a core part of their like new positioning that they kind of went in that direction about like, what was that, 22, 23, whatever year that was a couple years ago. So I wonder if a platform like Snapchat is looking at it and being like, we could be first movers on this piece of positioning, and that will kind of solidify their existing base of people who are like, oh, I'm here because there's no AI stuff. So they're the first people to say it, right?
Yep.
I like that. I like that positioning, especially in light of maybe Gen Z, Gen Alpha being a core piece of their audience here. Colin Dougherty, your thoughts on this?
Yeah, absolutely. I think there should be a slight tuning to this, which would be pretty interesting. I think instead of just Spotlight, there should be 3 distinct spotlights: an AI creator spotlight, a small creator spotlight, and then their normal spotlight, which is basically all human content. So you could do human content spotlight, bifurcate that into 3 separate categories so that specifically, okay, you're going to be consuming AI content. Okay, now we have a way to support the smaller creators on the platform. And then you have your normal standalone spotlight where they can push up all the big boys like David Dobrik and massive people like Casey Neistat and Mr. Beast.
I do like their very front-facing stance on this. There are some like wholly AI generated creators that I love, specifically on X. Heavy Pulp. I love what they put out. Okay. There's another guy that was like very active. Again, not a political show, but very active. I think his name's Charles Cullen, something like this. His stuff that he put out on X in reference to the LA mayoral race, was just like going bananas viral. I do think that there are some genuine creators using AI to put out stuff that nobody else is doing, and it's winsome and people love it. But the slop, I don't like it. I don't like the slop, and maybe Evan, very wise for being the first to take a stance on this. Of note here, gentlemen, moving forward to our next story, would you give $1 million? Would you take $1 million to have all of your Slack data mined by the various AI frontier labs? I think that I would. And I am publicly offering that you can mine our Slack data for $1 million. I didn't talk with Colin about that, but I think maybe he might agree with me. This tweet comes to us from Armin over at Aftercell, a friend of the show, sponsor of the show. The number one question in my DMs yesterday: did you really get offered $1 million for your Slack data? Yes, I did. Why would an AI lab pay that much? Well, they don't want customer lists. Sensitive data gets excluded and identifying info is anonymized. They pay because they're after the full operating history of real companies: internal Slack, email, SOPs, reports, spreadsheets, Jira, Asana, CRM activity, revisions, approvals, decision trails, internal docs. They're hungry for the full chain of work, how problems surface, how decisions get made, etc. They need this data to build great AI agents. This data only lives inside businesses. It is not available anywhere else. The more years and volume you have, the more valuable the data set. They're looking for companies with 20 plus employees, US, UK, Canada, 90+% English speaking, multiple years of operating opportunity. Obviously, there are real trade-offs here to consider. Would you do it? Starting with you, Colin Dougherty, is there like a Trojan horse in here somewhere? To me, this sounds like you want to look at my Slack and you're going to give me $1 million. I think I would take that.
Yeah, I think this is basically just data research at a very personalized level. Then they're pulling in Slack information. I mean, if you want to give me $1 million, you can have my iMessage data. I mean, like, what are we talking about here? I mean, this is pretty wild. I'd be curious to see how the reports come out of this, what they actually find. I think that's going to be very interesting. I'm also going to be interested if they are reporting on interpersonal kind of EQ relationships within the org that you can see via Slack. That's kind of more so my curiosity, is if they're kind of trying to peel the layers of the onions for how orgs are made up in 2026 and trying to do that via Slack and all of the relationships that are kind of stewing around in there. I think this is really interesting, and I really want to see the reports that come out of this.
I don't know if there's like some dark side to this. Like maybe they get enough, like what Armin's doing with after-sale, upsells, downsells, post-purchase, etc. Maybe they get enough of these companies and they get all the info and they can just spin up a dupe, of that company with their AI frontier, what. But I think kind of like you, I'd hand over just about all my info, I think, for $1 million. Orzy, what do you make of this? You like it? You love it? You hate it? Or would you be in on this?
I'd pay them if they could take all my shit and organize it and like make it. That was the promise. That was the promise of AI, right? Like I remember saying that in 2022, and people were like 6 months, bro, 12 months tops. Like you're gonna be out of a job, and I'm like, dude, I'm working my ass off more so than ever before, right? Because I don't know. Like obviously every company is a little bit different, but like there's always shit going back and forth. There's organization, there's management. I fucking hate the management stuff myself. Like, so yeah, like I would probably pay them. But if they wanted to pay me, as long as can't be used against me in the court of law, then sure, you could have access to all my staff data. No, I mean seriously though, like I would love that, because if it could go into my project management software, into my Slack, if it could go onto the client calls and take all that stuff and be like, oh, here's the bottleneck, here's the bottleneck, here's the bottleneck, and solve it for me. Like, I would love to be able to one-click stuff like that, but you cannot do that. And that's the thing that pisses me off about everyone, like, hyping up the AI stuff. I'm like, yeah, it's cool, it's great, but, like, it doesn't replace everything, So maybe it will, I don't know. But the fact that they're paying to get this access, it is kind of interesting, and I definitely consider it.
Chase, are you taking this? Are they already in your DMs?
I am. First. Orzy, RIP to your DMs. You just said there's no one solution. You're cooked, my friend. There are going to be 7,000 people. I can do that.
I'm gonna have to deactivate for a while, I think.
100%. First of all, I have there are a lot of these companies were doing this. This just wasn't public information. And they have been doing a lot of other things with, like, they opened the medical side of it on ChatGPT. So they were doing this with medical companies for a while. I've had some weird conversations with people like, hey man, I did this, I did that. So they've been buying this data for a couple of years now and paying like $1 million plus, depending on the size of your company, for that. I definitely would do it. I think the question you have to ask yourself is, like, downstream of this, is this hey, we're trying to operationalize everything for you in a better way? Or are they trying to do something more nefarious with it? So I don't have the answer to that, but I don't think anybody who is out here hustling is not going to take the bag in the moment. So yeah, I definitely would do it. They've been doing it for a while. They're going to continue to do it, just like any other big company in their situation. I do think the promise of AI is always going to be ahead of where we all think it's going to be. And I don't know if you guys saw Stuart from Revo. He's like, yeah, we're moving faster than ever before. And we just doubled engineering headcount, but we do all AI coding at this point. Wow. So like, this is kind of what's happening at a lot of places. Say, oh, we're reducing headcount. You're just increasing scope of what you're taking care of. I still haven't seen this like full reduction of headcount where the businesses are doing better. It's like, maybe we're not expanding all that much. But yes, like, everyone take the bag.
I would take it. I think I would take it,
Yeah.
especially if anyone is interested on the internal workings of a daily live show. I think you can come and talk with us over here at Ecomm Cowboy.
I just imagine these two data engineers being like, these guys just send memes to each other all day.
Yeah,
that's horrible.
That's the part. I think I would want to
no work gets done here. No work gets done.
Hey, like, why do we buy this? This is horrible. Business. Yeah.
Maybe a few channels would just say like everything except these channels, in case.
Yeah. The saloon gets you the bag. It's really
the saloon. The saloon.
That's true.
But we'll have to confer with everyone in the saloon, but maybe everyone gets the bag, if they mind what's happening in the saloon. Gentlemen, last story of the day here, and a little friendly competition among us. I have seen some interesting data points, with the largest Goodwill store in existence. Bring this up, producer Jack. Don't show the gentleman here any of the info. I'm going to propose a few questions to you here, and we'll let you guys decide, offer your guess, see who is most accurate. One of them I think we just gave away. Too bad. Gentlemen, the largest Goodwill store in existence is in Seattle's Chinatown International District. It sees many visitors per week. And this is a trend that we have seen growing this year. Brands winning up here. Also, a lot of people who are able to win down here on the other side of the K-shaped economy. First question for you. How many visitors per week visit the largest Goodwill in existence? How many people walk into the store to do business? Orzy, we start with you. What is your guess, sir? Visitors per week.
I saw it flash, so I don't know if that one was it 10,000. Was that the number?
We'll take 10,000. We'll take 10,000. It's a good guess, but it's not correct. Chase Mohseni?
I want Colin to go first, so I can do +1 on his. And
I'm fully cracked out.
I think I'll just throw 25.
Yeah,
25,000.
I'm fully cracked out. I'm gonna throw 18,000.
Stop it! You looked. You were not supposed to look.
Jack pulled it up quick. I'm dialed right now, dude.
Jack.
I'm dialed.
Jack.
I'm locked in. I'm locked in.
Somebody cheated. It's 18,000 visitors per week. Isn't that crazy? 18,000 visitors per week walk in to this Goodwill. Now, one that I know that you don't have. How many cars per second? No, not per second. How many cars average one carload to come and dump off stuff? How many cars per what time? One car per fill in the blank. How many per week? What's that look like? One car every fill in the blank of time. We start with you, Chase Mohseni.
Oh, wow. Got to be 75 cars a day.
Yeah. Colin Dougherty.
Honestly, I'd probably go like 125. They're moving. I'd probably go 125.
100. I mean, they do
Orzy?
10K units a day.
Oh man, I'm a vibes guy, not a data guy. So I'm just gonna say, I don't know, 10 cars a minute. I have no idea.
The closest was Orzy. It's one car every 55 seconds, gentlemen.
Holy shit.
There's a car unloaded of stuff every 55 seconds. Okay.
Wow.
Oh my!
So that means they're doing 60 per hour. Okay.
Per hour.
And then you multiply that times
12.
8. Okay. That's how much stuff they are gathering every single day. I mean,
Jesus.
7 days of the week. Okay. Now, it's 10,000 new items processed and priced every single day, meaning shoppers are never short of fresh inventory to browse. The most exciting piece of this whole store is the bins. You guys know the bins. You ever been to a store like this where you can see the bins in the Goodwill?
Yeah. It's
Yeah,
so fun.
Okay. I went as a child. Okay. I went as an adult too. I will say, like, kind of scared while I was there. Okay. It's like a bunch of people, like hundreds of people, like surrounding, like looking at the bins. And then they say go. And it's just, I mean, you're just diving in, looking at those bins. Okay. Gen Z loves this. Okay. Let me give you some deets.
Yeah.
Let me give you some deets from this. The appeal also extends to Goodwill's outlet stores, commonly referred to as the bins. The bins have become popular to the point that people brag about it, Grigg said. The bins used to be this place that no one shopped at if you could avoid it. Now it's the status symbol. It's all part of what Grigg describes as the treasure hunt mentality. And I will say, you know, exiting this segment here, there's a lot of ways to win on the internet. Goodwill, you can bring us back, Jack. Goodwill is having their best year ever. Okay. And you can win up here, but you can win down here too. We've even covered stories of people live streaming and live selling inside of the Goodwill store before they've even bought it. They're literally just talking to people. Look, this one's $4.
So these people just crowd around the bin and then they say go and they like beat the shit out of each other.
Yes.
To like it's like Black Friday, but like every day, like every hour.
Yes.
Yeah.
It's the Royal Rumble. It's the Royal Rumble.
Yeah.
There's a ton of
And-
bins. It's not just like one bin. Yeah.
It's a ton of, it's a ton of bins. You got to go to the outlet, and it's kind of wild.
Rift maxing in 2020.
Exactly. Never underestimate the American consumer. They will find a way to shop and delight themselves. Gentlemen, we appreciate you joining us on the show here at the front. Chase, anything on your end we should take note of, follow up on? Send people to?
MCP API coming out this week for CreativeOS.
Let's go.
For an announcement.
Baller.
Pretty good.
Baller.
Yeah.
Orzy, I'm always getting your emails, sir. And I think everybody needs to be signed up for your physical newsletter that actually arrives inside of the mail. But where should people find you, follow you, go check out, etc.?
Yeah, you can go to Orzy.co. That's my agency site. My other site where you can get my newsletter is theemailcopywriter.com and give you some free stuff. So check it out.
Incredible. Gentlemen, we appreciate you making the time to join us. Look forward to having you back. Thank you, man.
Thanks, guys.
Very excite. What a great way to start the week. It's only Monday. Isn't that exciting? Isn't that exciting? Wow. We have the one and only Oscar Adelman, founder and CEO of Remi, who is joining us on the show right now. He has built a D2C oral health brand. Okay, custom fit night guards that beat like your local dentist by like, I don't know, 600% or something in price. Okay, it's kind of crazy. The most interesting piece to me, I think that they have built like their own like U.S. manufacturing production facility. I think, okay, he'll have to tell us if that is the case before he comes inside of this show. A word from our sponsors over at Universal Ads and Tie, play of email provider, and your tech stack probably only recognizes about a third of your returning shoppers. Everyone else, they're browsing anonymously, and your flows, they're just sit idle. Tie identifies up to 70% of your total site traffic and pushes those shoppers into the flows that you already run. Caraway, as an example, uses Tie's predict scoring to lift open opens by 40%, clicks by 30%, while sending 20% fewer emails. Go book a walkthrough. Go to meetty.com/cowboy. When you do, tell them that Colin and I sent you today. Many thanks for Ty being part of the show. If your growth is plateauing on search and social, it's time to rethink TV. Universal Ads makes it simple for D2C brands to run TV campaigns designed for performance without the usual mystery of getting involved with television. You get both premium streaming and linear inventory all in the same place, okay? You're reaching net new target audiences outside of the same crowded social feeds. We're all spending our dollars today. There's no hidden markups or fees. Campaign separate management. It's just like search and social. You get running minutes. TV that's designed that delivers for performance marketers. Go to universalads.com. Use code UACowboy. You can get $1,500 in matched ad credits. Many thanks for Universal Ads being part of the show. Coming into this show right now, the one and only Oscar Adelman. Oh, look at that. Where did you get that?
What?
I don't think I got one of those.
Mm-mm.
Wow.
Nah, dude. Got to be homies with the sponsors and you get one.
I need to talk to Rabba. I don't know why. I want one of those cups, man. That's
Dude, they're awesome. Yeah,
That's
it's
a
like
great
insulated.
cup.
Yeah.
Wow.
I know.
I'm totally missing out on the swag here. Coming inside of the show, the one and only Oscar Adelman, coming to D2C by way of venture capital. Many ways, many things, now growing and scaling and thriving on the internet. We must welcome him inside of the show. Everybody welcome Oscar, founder, CEO of Remi. Get in here, Oscar. Get inside the show.
Thank you for having me. I appreciate it.
Oscar, man, we appreciate you making the time to join us. Welcome to the show, sir.
Thank you. Happy to be here.
Man, Oscar, tell us, give us a little lore on you, a little background on you. How did you find your way into D2C, creating custom night guards that, solve the problem of having to go to the dentist and get, spend $600 on another retainer of sorts? Like, tell us how you got here, man.
Remi was born out of a personal pain point. I grind my teeth like 1/3 of US adults. Oof. I was sitting in my dentist office being asked to pay $500 for yet another night guard. I'd lost it in a hotel room. And I said, God, there's got to be, where's the Warby Parker or the Away or the Casper for night guards? It didn't exist. So I quit my VC job and started it in my apartment back in the end of 2019. The rest is history.
Crazy, man. Quit the VC job. That's crazy.
Did a great job to start a what felt like a very risky company. In hindsight, we've been lucky. It's worked out for us, but yeah, it's you got to take risks.
Wow.
What did that kind of early version of Remi look like that you just had to get that MVP out there? And then what made you kind of consider like, okay, this is starting to work now, that we potentially, this is starting to work. This is working now.
So my theory has always been that if we're going to cut out the middleman, which is the dentist, we have to go all the way. And so we have to be vertically integrated and we have to make the product in-house. We're not just going to farm this out to some lab somewhere. We're not going to ship it overseas. And so to answer your question, the MVP was a very, very small dental lab set up inside my apartment.
Wow.
Let's go. We were figuring out, remove out all the furniture. I had, from the second I woke up to the second I went to bed, people in and out of the apartment all day long. And don't tell my landlord that story about it. And we started there for months actually, because we had to figure out how to really, build the process from start to finish, where somebody orders on our website, we ship them this kit to their house. They take their impressions at home. We walk them through the process. Either they submit a photo to our team and then our team will annotate that photo and give them feedback, or they can get on a one-on-one Zoom with a dentist on our team. But they take the impressions, they ship it back to what is now our big facility in Las Vegas, but at the time was my very small apartment in San Francisco. And then we manufacture the night guard, make it and ship it back to them.
Okay. The thing that I love about this, two things. Number one, you're doing it in the US. You're like, we're not gonna find somebody who can do this for us. And then essentially we'll become the new middleman. That's largely a marketing company, which most of us are. Nothing wrong with that. But I love that you like did the thing and you did the thing inside your apartment. That is crazy, man. You turned your apartment into a like functioning like dental
like a little
manufacturing
factory.
facility.
Yeah, we had 3D printers and plastic presses and dental drills to cut these out. And our manufacturing line today looks very different with technology and robotic arms and all of that. But at the time, it was a lot of manual work. And I used to be concerned that, the neighbors could hear. You can identify the noise of like a dentist drill, right? Like, you go to dentist, what that high-pitched sound sounds like. And, we had several of them going all at once before we got our first office. Somebody's going to say something. Luckily, nobody did. And we got out of there and into a real space quickly. But it was a lot of fun. I wish I had taken more pictures, honestly, of those days, but it was so scrappy. We were working so hard, so many hours. I wasn't thinking about documenting it.
Man, that's crazy.
This just seems like an operational kind of lift unto itself. Could you talk about, what is the hardest part of this operation? Because it seems like there's a ton of different moving parts for you to get this right and have a quote unquote like home run customer experience.
It is a operational nightmare to build a business where every customer is getting a fully custom product and the margin of error for that product is zero. If it's on your teeth and there's 1 centimeter, 1 millimeter of error, right? Or one sharp edge or whatever it is, it doesn't work. So it has to be perfect. It has to be perfect every time. You have to be able to repeat this. We do it at scale. So we're doing thousands, tens of thousands of these guards a month. We're an 8-figure brand now doing this. And so it is very challenging. What started as chaos has now evolved into a very streamlined operation where we've built out software that allows us to track every order, every technician on the factory floor, every lot number, every piece of plastic. So if you visit our factory, you'll see at every station 20 times throughout the course of this order moving from the front door to the exit, it's getting scanned in. We've got all of the data. We know who's touched what order when, for how long, where it's at, how long it's been there. But it took years to build out that OS for the facility. The nice thing is, to your point on customer service, now that system ties in with our support team. So if you reach out and say, hey, where's my order? I can tell you exactly where it is, how long it's going to take to get there, what the status is.
Love that.
It's a lot of building.
Okay, I think there's like a number of things to highlight here. To me, what stands out is obviously to build this kind of business, it takes operational excellence, which a lot of folks inside of our space and consumer, e-com, D2C, retail, CPG, whatever, however you want to call it. A lot of us are focused on, I got to make better ads. Which is of course you just do.
We have to do that too. We have to do that.
Yeah, exactly. But you have got this like unique business where you're able to surface and deliver and experience a product that other people just can't go and buy. Like, oh, I'm going to run a hat company. Let me go find a manufacturer, and then I'll make some pretty designs, and we get after it. In order to build this kind of like unique business, man, it takes operational excellence. And I love hearing about this OS and like the trimming and designing of this whole experience that now you can connect to truly deliver a one-of-one product to a customer who needs it. I find this fascinating, Oscar.
It's a interesting merge between classic D2C because we have to do all of the things, right? We have to have the customer support and the social media and the ads and podcast and newsletter and everything. And then on the other side, we have to run a highly complex operations business that is cranking out these custom products. And so it sometimes feels like I signed myself up to run 2 businesses. And I realized that at the time. And it doesn't mean, by the way, you make twice as much money. You just have twice as much money.
That's fair. That's fair.
But that's part of the moat, right? To come compete with Remi today, you would have to build a system at scale that took us, more than half a decade to figure out. And honestly, I say this jokingly, but if I had known then what I know now about how challenging this business is, I wouldn't have started it. So I'm glad I didn't realize at the time, and I had those founder, rose-colored glasses on.
Yeah. It's like we did this not because it's easy, but because we thought it would be easy. This is a great point though, because it's like the obstacle is the way. It's like for somebody to come up and like try to compete with you guys today, man.
Oh my gosh.
There's no manual that one can buy. There's no course that one can develop. Like, oh, let me go figure out how to make a dental manufacturing production facility and tie up all of the various processes to neatly integrate with my customer service and everything. Like it's a giant moat for you.
And then there's the scale aspect. Even if you went out and did that and invested huge amounts of capital to build a facility and all of that, you don't just start with the scale. A lot of our business today is returning customers, is the subscription business. Awesome. So traditionally you buy a night guard for $500-600. It's this thick, bulky piece of plastic. Your dentist wants that to last forever, because if you come back 6 months or a year and a half later and it's broken or it's cracked or it's worn down, you come back with a pitchfork, not with your checkbook again, right?
Yeah.
So for us, because they are so much less expensive, we get to make them more comfortable with better materials. It's thinner. It's not like a big hockey puck in your mouth. But the other side is people join the subscription, because when you're used to paying $600 for one night guard, and I say, I can ship 2 fresh ones to your house whenever you want for $89 every 6 months, every year, it's up to you. You join. And so our business today is like 85% returning business.
Stop.
So to compete with that, even if you built the whole facility and you built a brand and you said, I'm going to compete with Remi, you can't build all of those customers that we've acquired and have taken care of over these years.
That's
bananas. I mean, Chris, we talked Friday about quote unquote anti-fragile businesses with Brian at Northmead. This is like the definition of anti-fragile. I mean, this is bananas. Oscar, could you talk a little bit too? Because you guys expanded beyond night guards as well. You guys expanded into other categories as well with whitening and oral care. Could you talk a little bit about kind of the thought process between like, okay, we're going to expand into this new product line. How do you get ready for that?
Yeah. So we have 2 different ways we've expanded. We've expanded on the core custom business, because if we can make you a custom night guard, we can also make you a custom retainer after you're done with braces or aligners. It's the same process. It's just little different materials. And we can also make you custom teeth whitening trays, like what you would spend many hundreds of dollars for at the dentist, right? Again, same process, little different materials. And then there's the second part of it, which is we now sell an ultrasonic cleaner, which is perfect for cleaning any sort of dental appliance you have, but you can also drop jewelry in it. It's just an easy household appliance. Wow. We have a water flosser. We have a little UV case that you put your toothbrush in, because people don't realize when you flush your toilet, a billion little germs go over your bathroom onto your toothbrush. Okay, how do we fix that? And so we have built a relationship with our customers where they trust us enough to take what we've made and put it in their mouth every night, all night. The question is, how do we capitalize on that? And the fact that we've already acquired that customer and we have that trust to sell them other items that make sense to go in your bathroom, on your nightstand, and where they already associate our brand.
What I love about this, this is something originally, this first thought, honestly, was put in my head by Alex Griefeld. And she said, in some ways, your LTV is baked into what you have to offer people. How many things 100%. Do you have? Can you merchandise to them that they want? And this makes all the sense to me in the world, especially on the back of you've built up such a kind of trust factor with your audience. 85% of them are returning customers. It's like, okay, like let's expand this. How else can we provide value to people's mouths, making them wider, keeping their toothbrush clean, you know, all of the things. Man, that seems so anti-fragile. It seems so like substantial, foundational. Man, it seems like Oscar, it seems like you got a tiger by the tail here, brother. I mean, you know, not that it wasn't easy, but
tigers, you know, depending on how you measure it. Yes. But, and speaking to anti-fragile, you appreciate the fun thing about our business is when people are more stressed, they grind their teeth more. And so there's also this element of whatever's going on in the world or in the economy or in your life at the time. Whether you're in good times, unfortunately, it's a chronic condition. You're still grinding your teeth. But in bad times, when people pick up that habit, it's actually good for business. So I hate to say it, but you know, when the economy is hurting, we're doing better. It's almost an inverse correlation. Yeah, that's my interpretation of anti-fragile in a slightly different definition.
That's wild.
Oscar, I'd love to kind of go back towards, you know, when you were in the VC world, is there some VC wisdom that you had kind of like this thought process about D2C before you entered D2C that you now totally disagree with? Now that you're actually the operator inside the business and you were like, God, I totally disagree with that Oscar VC version of late, of so far ago.
Yes, but I will caveat by saying I've now been in the DC world for a long time. So my connotations of what made a good D2C company more than half a decade ago, it's almost out of date today. But when I think back on what we were doing, a lot of it was still Meta spend and Google spend, right? If you can get those two channels, you can go to the moon. Yeah. And what I have found now in my business, especially in 2026, is that you need to do well on those channels, but you need to have a diversity of channels that work for you. And so I'd mentioned, you know, podcast earlier. Podcast is a really important channel for us because like your viewers are listening to you because they care about you, they're interested in what you're doing. They trust you to have interesting content and relevant, interesting ads. And so when we go on a true crime, we do really well on true crime podcasts. When we go on true crime podcasts, it's that anxious late night people who's listening to the you know, double homicide stories. And then the host starts talking about Remi and grinding your teeth and all of that. So to answer your question, it's not enough anymore to just crush it with meta ads and have a good, you know, person running your Google PPC. There has to be other interesting channels that you're able to tap into. It wasn't the case, or I wasn't thinking about it perhaps when I was investing in consumer companies as a VC. But now that I'm in it, I know how important that is.
I think your you know, summary here is totally the case. And 5 years ago, like you didn't need anything else. Like if you could crack Meta and Google, you could go to the moon. And a lot of us did. You know, a lot of us did. You know, great product, Meta's working. It's like, man, you're fine and dandy. But it's not that way anymore. You need that substantial LTV, returning customer. Like, how can you bring people back and get to know them more? And I find this so fascinating about the podcast piece. Colin, have we had anybody in 2026
Zero
like talk about podcast ads
Zero
and placement there? I find this fascinating for you guys. And it's like so interesting to think about this like double homicide, like murder mystery, and like, you know, people are tensed up. They talk about grinding your teeth. You know, like that's so interesting. Yeah, so interesting. And it makes me wonder. It makes me wonder if there are like other places and when some, you know, types of content that people in our ecosystem should be betting on when it comes to long form content like this. That's very interesting, Oscar. Tell me this, you know, back half of this year, Q4, et cetera. Is that the same kind of Q4 explosion that, you know, a lot of us need in e-com and D2C? Like what does that piece like look like for you guys?
Talk about another surprise. This has been a surprise for us. I would not, and I sell custom night guards, and I would not get my friends or family custom night guards as a Christmas gift. It's just in my mind, it's not a great gift.
Yeah.
Yet Q4 is our second biggest quarter of the year. Q1 is amazing because it's a health and wellness brand. And so people, if I'm going to start the year on a fresh note, I need to, you know, help with this habit. I'm waking up every morning with jaw pain. How do I address that in the new year? But we have a huge push in Q4. And I really just think it has to do with people being prepared to spend. And I had assumed it was spending on gifts. But what we found over the last handful of years is that people will spend on whatever it is that they've been putting off. I don't think that many people are buying our product for other people as gifts, but they're buying it in November and December more than they're buying it in October.
Wow. Oscar, I mean, where do you guys see you kind of going from here? Are you trying to push into kind of more broader at-home oral and also potentially like a sleep wellness brand and trying to kind of craft things around the sleep experience? How do you kind of see yourself progressing over the next couple of years?
It's a good question. A lot of our plan is determined by what our customers are telling us that they want. You know, we've got now hundreds of thousands of customers that are bought into the brand, they're bought into the subscription, that, you know, repeat purchase, word of mouth is really strong for our business. And so I see my job as the founder to listen to what they're telling me. And so a lot of what is on our product roadmap, and I won't get too into the weeds on that, but a lot of what's into our product roadmap have been specific recommendations or requests from our customers that said, you know, what would be really cool is if you had this. And then we said, oh, we could do that. Let's send out a survey to 1,000 random customers and see if they agree with you that they would want this. And people do want it. Okay, let's figure out how to make it.
Smart.
Incredible.
Smart. Oscar, man, we appreciate you making the time to join us and dropping sauce here on the show. Man, especially, oh gosh, it's so interesting. The return customer, 85% is wild to me.
Bananas.
The podcast piece, I think, is so interesting. And man, you guys have you've built a very real business that is like manufacturing right here in America, custom one for one. Incredible. Brother, where should people go find you, follow you, and also you know, get their oral care needs taken care of? Give us the whole list.
Shop Remi, ShopRemi, shopremi.com is the best place to find us. You'll see all of our socials there. But as you guys well know, visit our website and you'll start getting our marketing emails and our newsletter and all that starts to flow. I really appreciate you guys having me on today. Thank you very much.
Absolutely.
I have to say again, like I'm like blown away at like the prices that you can do this for.
It's so
great. Only because we're vertically integrated and only because we're doing it here. No shortcuts.
It's incredible.
Incredible, man. Oscar, we appreciate you joining us. Look forward to having you back, brother. Thank you, man.
Thank you very much. Take care.
Very cool. Very
Incredible.
cool. You know, well, go ahead.
I was going to say it's super. It's an incredible story on being vertically integrated. Like when you become vertically integrated, it's such a lift. I will say this: it is such a lift to do as a D2C brand. It is a crazy lift. It is one of the hardest things you can physically do. But if you can nail it and if you can pull it off, it is one of the most, if not the most beneficial thing you can do as a D2C brand.
I'm like blown away by how they are doing it. Started off doing it in his office. I mean, not in his office, in his apartment.
Yeah.
They're doing it in the United States. They didn't just outsource it, send it overseas, etc. while he was talking to, it made me think, you remember the guy that we had on the show who created like the pen to help with jaw pain? Do you remember this?
Of course. Yeah, he's like 19.
Yeah. It made me think like
Oscar should buy him.
Maybe Oscar should buy him. It really made me think that.
Yeah.
Don't you think that could be like a marriage made in heaven? Because it fits right into their whole, healing jaw pain, sleep, oral care, etc. It's interesting.
Yeah, there's I was kind of going down that avenue of like sleep wellness and or oral care. Like you can balance both of those things because of where he has positioned it. And so he could basically build this massive category of one and own that entire thing with multiple products.
And when we had him on, he was making everything in the United States also. I think he was looking to go overseas to like scale a little bit.
Yeah, exactly.
It'd be interesting. It'd be interesting. Maybe there's a bright future there. There's definitely a bright future with Remi. I know that.
Absolutely. Yeah,
they've got a sustainable, anti-fragile business, and good on them. A lot of lessons for us to take away in consumer there. We have the one and only Alan Cevallos coming inside of the show, co-founder and COO at Media Jet Marketing, bringing the sauce on growing brands and scaling brands on the interwebs today. Before he comes inside of the show, a word from our sponsors over at Intelligems and Proxima AI. Play it for us, producer Jack. Your buyer data already knows what ad you need to make next. You just can't read it yet. Most brands and marketers brief from instinct. Okay, what's our best performing ad? Let's change a little bit. Proxima changes the input here, reads your conversions against real shoppers across 2,000 plus e-commerce brands. Shows you exactly who's buying, what else they respond to, and where your account has gaps. You just wire up Meta, wire up Shopify. Proxima begins to map every conversion back to a real buyer segment inside the commerce graph. And no longer are you briefing from a blank page. You get a feed of creative briefs. First 3 briefs are going to be free for you every single month. Go to Proxima.ai. Stop the slop. Many thanks for Proxima being part of the show. What is the next big idea that could change your business? Is it a price change, adding subscriptions, maybe a new bundle, strategy, or an app? Discovering and testing those high growth opportunities is exactly why Intelligems exists. It's an AI-powered testing platform, helps you find the changes worth making. If you're looking for your next big idea, they have you covered. Go to intelligems.io/audit. In just a few minutes, you're going to have 3 ideas that you can test today. Totally free, AI-powered audit. Go talk with Intelligems. Get the next new big idea for your business. Many thanks for Intelligems being part of the show. Coming in the show right now is the one Alan Cevallos, co-founder and COO of Media Jet Marketing. Methinks that him and his brother got started in e-com out of a garage many years ago. Their own e-com store now, helping scale and grow brands, I believe 200 plus over the past handful of years. We must bring him inside of the show. Everybody, welcome the one and only Alan of Media Jet Marketing. Get in here, Alan.
Whoa.
Inside this show.
What's going on, guys?
Let's go.
Alan, how are you doing, brother? Appreciate you joining us, making the time. Welcome to the show.
Likewise. No, I appreciate the opportunity. Excited to chat. Tactical and practical. So let me know where to start.
Exactly. Alan, you've got like an interesting like quotable going on behind you here. I don't know what this is, but it's looking great. Something about strategy, work done, etc. I don't know. Alan, man, give us a little background on you first. I mean, tell us about you and your brother getting into e-com and how you've gotten to where you are today with MediaJet and what you guys are doing.
100%. So I'm a prior e-commerce owner, then switched agency founder. So I think that's a little bit different with the clients we work with because we understand deeper than like marketing metrics. On the personal side, we had an Amazon business. It was back in the 2018 when ranking was a bit easier. So you could really go aggressive and position your products on page 1 of Amazon. We did well. And that fueled my love for the e-commerce space. We lived in LA at the time, set up an office, didn't know anything about business, but we're going to go ahead and try.
Yeah.
Super expensive overhead, low profitability, and I didn't even know the agency type of world. I was more so a consultant for similar brands, right? 8 years later, we've optimized into a business model that helps you mostly CPG direct to consumer brands, but full funnel. So, just like how you guys were talking about LTV and retention on the other conversation, I am on the front lines of acquisition and what brands are doing today to make sure acquisition's under control. I always tell my clients and anyone reaching out to me, if you don't have your acquisition under control, you can't do any of the other stuff. Like, the business isn't even fun to run if you can't acquire customers for the first time. So love to talk about a little bit about that, but that's my experience.
It's interesting, Alan. I love CPG just because there's like so much innovation there, and what you're drinking and eating, and the golly, growing those things
So hard,
man. That's a task and a half. It's a task and a half, especially on the acquisition side. I mean, have you seen this? I mean, I have on my side. I would love to have a winning, thriving CPG brand, but gosh, it's like it's not so easy. It's not so easy.
No, it's I always say it's like the pinnacle of performance marketing, because you're paying the CPMs that the same modular home seller or someone selling a $4,000 kayak is paying, right? So advertising the costs are what they are. You have to have industry leading click-through rates, congruency within the messaging you're actually pushing. Your conversion rate needs to be as high as possible. But on the flip side, you get like the Grunz framework, which is behind you. Like if you're able to kind of pull it off, and afford the acquisition, it leads to that long-term growth. But that part of that that congruency within messaging is what I think brands get wrong. I'd say that's why people have grown to hate meta advertising more than anything. It's because it's tricky and it's very nuanced and niche to try to make it work. The big brands can afford to like do the testing to get it to work. And then the ones who don't have the resources potentially end up running a structure that, it was over before it even started.
Wow. Alan, I mean, you're cracked on meta ads. I think it's safe to assume that. It's safe to assume that just with our conversation here. In 2026, how much of winning on meta is the media buying versus the actual creative itself?
So it's I would say a majority on the creative itself. Creative is not only the asset, like the creative asset, it's also your copy, your offer, your positioning of the product, your landing destination, right? So all that plays into a funnel working. And I call it a funnel because it's not only the configuration of the ad account, it's the entire framework. So give you an example, you can have a supplement like Grunz. How do you position the product for the person who's actually going to buy and that they need the product, that they don't just want it? And that's something that I deal with in the CPG space because, for example, a lot of my, the products that we work with, they're better for you, right? Yeah. And you can explain it in a way that's, it's an alternative or like just another version of it, but the same ones at the grocery store. You're going to lose that battle every single time. You got to position the product in the way in which your customer actually cares. So protein intake, they would care about that. Therefore, you should build your experience around it. Low carb, you should build the experience around low carb because that's what the person on the other end really cares about. So,
got it.
Advantage Plus, Andromeda, all this stuff has prompted everybody to be talking about like creative diversity and like how important creative is, because it's true. But creative means congruency within the audience that exists and the communication you're putting forth, right? If you're able to speak to the person in the way that's what they need, not just want or something like that, then you have industry leading performance. And that's why like hiring a media buyer doesn't cut it, because there's a limited amount of things that the media buyer can click, and you can't media buy your way out of a bad conversion rate essentially. So
an example I think of what you're describing, at least that I have noticed in my own viewing of everything that's happening funnel wise, et cetera. Grunz is a great example back here. Greens in gummy form, like it makes sense to me. It's like it tastes better than AG1. Awesome. Like it's in a gummy bear form. Sounds great. But what I noticed them doing was for GLP-1 users specifically.
Yes, exactly.
They have this whole experience and funnel, landing pages, et cetera, all built around like, you need to go to the bathroom and you
Yep.
need some help going to the
Right.
bathroom. You know,
Yep.
the Groons is your answer for that. That's
Yep.
something that I would have never thought of, that I think like speaks to a very specific customer segment. That was really wise of them to press on with landing pages and creative, etc.
Yes.
And you know, they like continue to find like various ways and angles for very specific ICPs that I think is quite winsome. And maybe we all need to do this a little more, Alan.
Yeah, I agree. And back in the day, you'd get, a lot of people saying, oh, it's going to take us 2-3 months to find our audience, right? Our audience on Meta. I've launched funnels that in the first $50 in spend, you hit the right audience and you get the acquisition cost that you were looking for, within the brand. The issue is with a bad brand, it won't work. Like you'll be reaching the right audience because Advantage Plus is so strong, but they won't convert. We're in an economy where budget for consumers is low, and they're cutting out anything that's not intentionally, I don't know, message or exactly what they're looking for.
Talk to us about this, Alan. When you're in 2026 of e-commerce, it's much to my chagrin, it's not 2020 or 2021 anymore. It's not 2018, but in 2026, when you're talking with the brands, people come to you, man, is there a product or a brand? Of course, you don't have to name names, but is there an example of a brand or a product or a vertical where you just said like, this not for us? That's probably not the move here and now. If you could speak to that.
Yeah, I mean, more than you would think. I take about 50 to 100 like calls on a monthly basis of brands that are potentially looking for help, from my agency. And I turn down a lot. I would say there's two things that potentially lead to me saying no, like you need to kind of hit the drawing board and revisit like the business fundamentals before you're even at a place where you should be thinking about like customer acquisition. But one would be that you can't differentiate the product from something generic, something else, right? So if it's let's say hypothetically, it's a food item, but the same food item exists at Sprouts, Whole Foods, any generic grocery store, customers are going to buy it there. They're going to see the ad, they're going to see the recipe and messaging experience, and they're going to go buy that because you haven't broken away to explain why e-commerce makes sense. And I think a lot of the times in CPG, we don't realize e-commerce is the like wonky solution. Like the organic solution is to walk into the grocery store on Thursday because I'm going there anyways. So e-commerce is kind of weird. Like, why would I order like a brownie or like a food item or a beverage from the internet? The only reason why somebody will do that is because it doesn't exist at the local, scenario. So that's one thing where I'm like, I like it. In some scenarios, maybe the branding is so on point that it might work, or they have like a very distinct customer persona. But if it's too generic, you're going to have a hard time with it. Therefore, that's a no. Two would be if the economics don't work, right? So one-time products, one-time purchase products in a low AOV category is very difficult. And I would just recommend a different type of solution. You got a business that is not favorable for the landscape that we're in. So it's either you're pushing high LTV or you're pushing high AOV, like a furniture or a kayak or something like that, where you're going to have the margins because you can afford to pay the acquisition costs on the front end.
Yeah, fair.
Alan, on the flip side of that, for the brands that you've worked with, I mean, you've scaled over 200 plus brands. Is there a pattern or a through line that you're seeing of the ones that actually break through versus the ones that maybe end up plateauing?
Yeah, I would say the ones that break through understand their data perfectly, better than we could ever understand it, because they're holding on to it almost like a financial calculation, right?
Yeah,
right. What's my CAC on what channel per what funnel, right? And they understand it so well. They understand LTV perfectly. This is our LTV on a 3-month, 6-month, 9-month, 1 year, 2 year, 3 year. Like, they understand it all perfectly, and they're building their direct to consumer businesses almost methodically, like as if it was a business plan that was going to hit regardless, right? That's how they see it. The brands that, are potentially self-funding it and kind of thinking about advertising as a bit of a, infinite money glitch type of scenario, those are doomed to fail because advertising is volatile. So
Right.
you need to be able to rough the storms with conviction on where you're going.
Mm-hmm.
So if you're pulling back and spending more, pulling back, hopping on trends, doing TikTok shop, doing this, those are the ones that they don't make it because they don't have conviction on the initial plan that they set forth.
Wow.
I think there's something to that.
Yeah,
I think there's something
I
to that.
agree.
And maybe there was a time when Facebook felt like an infinite money glitch. You know?
Yeah.
Maybe there was a time.
There was a
but
time.
It's not now. I know
Not
that
now.
much. It's
Yeah.
not now. I there was a time where I look back on a brand that I co-owned at the time, and looking back, I just feel like, gosh, if I had just begged, borrowed, and stealed every dollar that I could find, like I'd probably still be and invested it all into Facebook ads. I'd probably still be working on that product today,
Yeah.
But that money glitch, I totally agree with you, man. It's gone, and advertising and doing it well, it takes having some bit of war chest and being able to invest in consistently here forward. Alan, tell me this, man. 2026. Man, how have things changed? What's working now? A little sauce on your end. What's working now? What's changed? What do you see happening across your portfolio of clients that you feel would be of benefit here? I say this to say, a lot of times I really feel our agency operators and friends, they see things happening across multiple categories that brand operators and owners just don't. Brands live in a well. They're a frog that's looking up at the sky, and they know what's happening in their specific situation. But the advantage of being at an agency is that you span categories and verticals and products. What do you see going on, Alan, that's winsome and working?
So I'll touch on creative because I think that's a big one for founders that, creative can be expensive and potentially disappointing too if you overinvest in something that wasn't kind of built for what someone like me is looking for. So on the creative level, what I'm seeing, brands that have a creative flywheel that is set up for scale are doing best. So I'll give you kind of two examples of that. Founder content of these type of brands. So they have founder content. They maybe set up content suites within their kind of daily routine, 1 or 2 hours of content creation. One of my best performing supplement clients, he does like a podcast setup so he can speak about the product in a very intentional way. And that's the best performing content in his ad account. So that all of a sudden you just crossed off that, line item on your budget. So, essentially you bring it in house and you're now doing it for free because it's the founder led content. 2 would be creator flywheel. So you probably have heard of tools like Tribe where it pays affiliates on performance. A lot of my clients have started setting up their internal affiliate programs, and sometimes we help with this too, to ensure that we're always inviting new representatives to speak on the brand in the right way that match the user persona that the brand favors. And you're able to pay, your affiliates on performance. So now you have high volume of content, and you've built a little bit of a creator army, right? So you can keep that communication in something like Discord, for example. You're educating your creators on what to build for your brand, and then you're throwing it into meta ads. And whether you pay them, one time through like a more professional manner or on a pay on performance, that's what meta ads needs. It needs higher content velocity, higher testing. So that's that on the content side. I would say brands that get creative with their creative solutions are doing best because they have more to work with versus, something that could be extremely expensive and unproven, like an unproven angle, an unproven content style. You might be out a few $1,000s before, you actually got to test the asset. 2, the algorithms on the paid channels are better at testing than we are now. So a lot of the times you're very much so feeding, content and angles into these platforms and letting, Advantage Plus in Meta's case and in the other channels, the AI figure out what is going to be profitable for your business. So that's a piece of sauce. It's try to not control it too much. Let the algorithm point you in the direction in which your performance is going to be best. Ad experiences are not singular anymore. Customers need multiple touch points, like a swarm of bees. So that's why you hear the kind of CBO or Andromeda setups that have hundreds of creatives in there. That's because it's like a swarm of bees that, you know, if you're not converting on the first visit, well, now you're getting educated through different touch points and different content styles, which increase your likelihood of converting next week, right? So more content has been the language around me. And when I look at an ad account and I do reviews all the time, that's pretty much the first thing I'm looking at is how are we structuring this? What are the angles? What are the USPs and user personas we're going after? And then what does the content look like? Is it accurate for the user persona, or does it look like something that user persona would never buy, right? And that's kind of that's where my recommendations come from.
Like it.
You know, Alan, as Meta is tripling down on AI, they're just hammering away at that kind of media buyer job. What do you think the human's role is within media buying and within all of that, maybe a year from now, as Meta just keeps reinvesting into AI?
We are more of e-commerce consultants more than media buyers, because even our job is now easier on the media buying side, but it's larger on the direction of the business and how we're actually going to structure these things to genuinely work. So I think Meta and these ad platforms that are incorporating AI are allowing us to have more scale because we can do our job in a more efficient manner, right? I think that is a benefit to all of us because we can leverage the AI to, instead of doing manual, bid tests and manual campaign structures, well, maybe we found out, the results of our tests in a week instead of in 2 months. So that's the reality of what it's looking like at this point. I'm not afraid of it because at the end of the day, brands don't want to, a lot of the times, like for an agency owner like mine, brands don't want to learn the nuances of what's working this month because it changes all the time. They also don't want to develop, the entire structure to favor whatever the ad platform is looking like today. So we're a bit more of consultants. We shine light based on our experience with all the other brands that are working. We help them ideate angles. We help them speak to the customer in a way that's going to make sense. So it's become a bit more of that, full funnel implementation, I think, is valuable. The media buyer specific solution is not that special anymore. There are little things you can do, but it's rather simple and it's something that can be taught in 30 minutes. So it's a bit more of that full funnel, solution that is going to be coming out of agencies like mine.
Hot take.
Spicy.
Hot take.
Coming in with
spicy take, Alan. Spicy take. There may even be, who knows, maybe we'll even have a little live debate here on the show
for sure
one day about the role of media buying and the media buyer today. Alan, we appreciate you making the time to join us on the show. It sounds like you are no longer in Southern California. Where do you find yourself these days, Alan?
I'm in San Diego, California right now. But
all right, okay, you are.
Right,
You're in San Diego. Well,
I'll be in New York, so I'm from here and in New York City.
You're back and forth. Okay, that's awesome, man. Well, we will be out in San Diego. Less than 50 days now, right, Colin?
Very
September
close.
2021. We're going to be out at Commerce Roundtable. If you are there and not in New York City or elsewhere, Alan, we hope to connect with you while we are there. Man, where should people find you, follow you, talk with you over at MediaJet, questions, etc.? Give us the whole list, Alan.
Our website is MediaJetMarketing.com. Our social media is MediaJet Marketing, so you can hit us up there. And it goes directly to my contact form. So that's where you can find us.
Perfect. Alan, we appreciate you making the time to join us. Look forward to having you back, man.
Likewise, I appreciate it.
Some spicy takes. Some spicy takes on media buying.
Spice for your Monday. A little spice for your Monday.
A little spice, a little cayenne for your Monday. Gosh, don't you think we should have a little debate on media buying?
Oh my gosh.
Don't you think that would light up the timeline a little bit? It would be fun.
Little T Holiday? Little T Holiday?
Maybe.
Yeah.
Maybe Jordan Menard, might want to. He's been a
Alan says, let's debate it. Bring the heat. Ooh. we have a volunteer.
We'll volunteer. We'll host.
Let's go.
Here
We'll host
on the show. Moving forward, ladies and gentlemen, to some great finds upon the internet on this fine Monday of Mondays. Before we get there, a word from our hosts over at Rich Panel and Postscript. Play it for us, producer. There's a reason when people make a switch from whatever SMS partner they have at Postscript, they see a plus 22% increase in SMS revenue on average. Now, I didn't see that. I saw a whole lot more. We went from making very little money on SMS to being the top 1% account in their entire platform inside of a year. And the secret is, I just did what they said. And what they are saying is that you're leaving money on the table and your customers text you back. Go get the conversation report, directtoconsumer.co/the conversation report. The good news is Postscript's AI shopper can now have one-to-one conversations with your customers at scale. Many thanks for Postscript being part of the show. Your CX team is buried in repeat tickets that are costing you money. Rich Panel is the AI help desk that fixes this massive headache and automates 70 to 80% of your interactions. You're only responsible for the exceptions. Your team of Rich Panel AI agents has got you on the rest end to end. If you're paying humans $2 to $10 per ticket, you need to see what 30 cents feels like. Ridge did this, cut their cost per ticket by 70%, save $500,000, and 50% autonomous resolution in 30 days guaranteed, or your money back. Go to richpanel.com, book your demo today. Many thanks for Rich Panel being part of the show. Speaking of great finds,
let's go.
And I know that you particularly enjoy the ad read from Rich Panel. You like how the inflection. You like the inflection on Rich Panel. You like the inflection. I know that you do.
It's the best.
Producer Jack does too.
Yeah.
Smile Plus Lime Ice.
Good.
Oh, you need
your favorite.
You want me to send you some? You want me to send you some?
Bring some to San Diego.
I'll bring some to San Diego if I'm not out.
Oh, dude.
Bro, I ordered a
one
grip
aside for me.
Well, a man has needs. Jeez. And when you're executing on this show every day, I feel like you need a little go-go pouch, and Smile Plus has got you.
Yeah.
This has been a great find for me. I'm a big fan. Not associated, not affiliated. We do want them on the show. Whoever makes this, come and let's talk about it, because I'm a big fan. I'm a fan of the pouch as a form factor, and I'm a fan of what they're doing and perhaps what could be expanded upon it. Our first great find. Oh, go ahead.
Have you seen Mad Men before, by the way?
I've never heard of it.
The show, Mad Men?
Never heard of it.
Okay.
That's joke. That's a joke. Of course I have.
Yeah. Do you know when the doctor comes in and is like, there's a proprietary blend that I'm gonna give all the guys. Do you remember this?
No.
Whatever. Never mind.
I don't remember. I never saw that part.
The company is a little like low. The energy's not good enough. So the
What's he give him meth? What's he give him?
He accidentally they get like a combination of like meth and like they're sprinting around the office. But the doctor's like, it's a proprietary blend. So you're like, just unbelievable. But they're just riffing off of like crazy takes. That's like what that reminded me of.
It's like the original Coca-Cola that was had cocaine in it.
Yeah, exactly. They're pumped. You're pumped about Coca-Cola.
Also, there's a great book. There's a great book on the uses of meth, particularly in World War II. That is fascinating.
This is super real. Super real. That's crazy that you know that book too.
Bro, I love that book. I love that book.
That's so wild. That's super niche. But yeah, I know exactly what you're talking about. It was heavily used. Heavily used
on
the bad side, by the way.
Particularly on the side of the Axis powers. Okay. Very strong meth usage, which actually like leads into like why they did some of the things that they did and why they were so successful early on in the war.
Right.
Why everybody was so worn down by the end of the war, etc. Like meth actually played a huge part of that. Very fascinating.
Yeah.
Speaking of great finds, go find that.
Wild.
Book. I think
great find.
It's a great find, that book, whatever it is called. I forget right now, but I bet producer Jack can find it for us. You don't need to, Jack. Okay. First great find, new Corgi Cafe just dropped. And
Let's go.
They have taken whatever feedback the timeline was giving them. Look at how beautiful this is. Zoom in on some of these pictures here, producer Jack. This comes to us by way of Erica Lee. Look at this. Look at this. Somebody was on the timeline. We have said like very smart strategy for them. Corgi, they don't really work in our ecosystem, but what they are doing to advertise for their business, which is like business insurance, AI-ified business insurance, what they are doing to advertise for that are their consumer takeaways. Absolutely, they are. Number one, how many AI companies do I know? Like I could tell you like big boys. It's a handful. One of them's Corgi.
Yeah.
Why do I know them? Because they make cafes, and cafes are cool. you know? Like it's like very consumer, en masse crowd approachable. And somebody commented like, "Oh, the Corgi Cafe is like, you know, it's not that nice, whatever." This one, absolutely gorgeous. Look at these murals, man. Fascinating.
Yeah, for the person that commented the Corgi Cafe isn't really nice, I would love to see your cafe and your ability to create a cafe, because it is incredibly hard. Also, the go-to-market for Corgi should be studied. Whether you're in consumer or software, the go-to-market for Corgi needs to be studied. And their sales follow-up, I don't know if you saw this, but like one of their sales dogs got texts got leaked, and he texted like a prospect like 19 times of like different things, and it was like, just this guy's just nonstop. Like the motor over there is just crazy. And so if there's companies to watch, even if it's not in your industry, watch how they're operating, and Corgi's one of them.
And there's something to take away from here. Let's say you don't work in B2B software. You're not on, let's say you're not on the software side of our space, which is an important side of our space, by the way. Very important. Everything that happens in e-commerce is tech enabled. It's tech adjacent. Even if you don't live on that side of our ecosystem, there's thoughts here. There's considerations to be had for what can we do in another category, in another way, to give us an advantage over our competitors and be able to connect in a more familial way with our potential clients. And Corgi is doing a masterclass on that. Let me think of all the other business insurance companies that I know of. Okay, thought about it. Zero. Okay, there's only one. It's Corgi. Why do I know them? Because they do cool stuff on the internet and they make cafes. And so, like, think about that. Like, how can I stand out in my vertical, do something different that like doesn't make sense, that will be familial, winsome, and people will actually walk into and experience in an IRL way. I think there's a lot of takeaways to be had on this one.
Absolutely. And try to work with them too. If you can do a something with them personally to help promote your brand as well, I would do that.
Absolutely. Next, the Govee Smart Nugget Ice Maker. This story comes to us by way of TechCrunch. Okay, it's the good ice. It's Sonic Ice. Okay, we would call it Sonic Ice here in the South. Would you call this Sonic Ice? Having been born and come from the land of Maryland.
This is Chick-fil-A ice.
This is Chick-fil-A ice for you?
This is Chick-fil-A ice.
This is Sonic Ice for me. But the Govee Smart Nugget Ice Maker makes every ice drink feel like a luxury. Okay. Here's my question to you at the outset. Scroll up, producer Jack. Don't show Colin. Don't show Colin. How much do you think this costs? You probably already saw.
It's probably on discount right now on Amazon for $4.50.
Do you think it's on discount right now? You already know. You already looked.
Yeah.
$500. Okay. $500. Let me give us some deets here. For some people, the ice in a beverage is almost as important as the drink itself. True. That's the audience Govee had in mind when designing its latest ice maker, the Govee Life Smart Nugget Ice Maker Pro. Premium smart home gadget aimed at those who crave what's called the good ice, or the Sonic Ice, or the Chick-fil-A ice, the soft, chewable nugget ice often found in fast food or restaurant drinks. Govee says that the modern design gadget delivers a nugget ice in as little as 6 minutes. That's fast. The ice maker in my fridge right now not working too well. This is of note for me. That's a claim that proved true in my testing. It's available for $500. Okay. And here's the piece I'll add on top of this. You need to fill the tank with water. Okay. This isn't like connected to your like water spigot in some way.
Don't like that.
You need to fill the tank yourself, and it makes the ice, and you kind of got to keep filling up the thing in order for this to happen. At a $500 price point, needing to fill the thing with water yourself, are you as hyped up about this anymore?
Absolutely not. I think it needs to be able to be filled up by itself. And then this needs to be pushed aggressively for people that are hosting. So people that are hosting parties, it's a little bit of a flex, Chris, you know what I mean? Where it's like, it's weird, but like the ability for the host to kind of flex, like, oh yeah, like go get the ice. And it's like a unique ice. And it's like for the bar, it's for the barbecue. It's for, you know, all the fun things in the backyard. This is who that is perfectly for. And I think that at that price point, this thing should be filling itself up. I shouldn't be, you know, filling this up like a Brita.
I would be happy to do this if water just appeared inside of the machine and it automatically like kept itself full and delightful and premium ice. Like I want that. And I'll drop five Benjamins on it. Happy to. But if I need to like constantly refill the tank, I'm out.
Yeah, totally out. I mean, that just completely takes it to like 2 out of 5.
Here's what I'd love to see. I'd love to see this go on TikTok Shop. Yes, people with high average order value like Ninja Shark Pro. Okay, they find ways to win on TikTok Shop. I'd love to see this go on TikTok Shop. I'd love to see it framed as like the ultimate party hoster thing.
Oh yeah,
for like families that are going hosting like party for little Jimmy and everybody's over there and party hoster type angle.
Yep.
But you need some kind of, even if it's not a fancy like official connection to your water spigot, okay, like your fridge has, it needs some way to be like connected to the faucet or something. You've got to have some kind of connector to make this thing automatically run.
Yeah.
That is my word of advice. But I do like it. We need a couple more things on top of it.
Yeah. To rationalize that price point.
That is correct. Number 3, McDonald's making some robots, servicing customers with robots. I don't know if I'm all in on this, but I do like the thought in general. Please bring this up for us, producer Jack. This tweet comes to us by McFranchisee. If you're not following McFranchisee, you should be. You should be. He has excellent tweets, great insight on McDonald's specifically and what is taking place there. I believe there we are. Yeah. Producer Jack is with us and back. I think she got kicked out of the show. McFranchisee, it turns out that there are McDonald's operators testing out a robot that is servicing said companies with a robot of sorts that you have seen in some places. Okay. I will say a couple of notes from me. I don't love that there's not a happy, smiley robot face. I want a happy, smiley robot face. This thing in this current form, it's got some trays. It's like walking to my table. Yeah. In this current form, this feels like it's getting in my way. Yeah. But if you put like a happy, smiley face on it, like I have seen like at a Korean barbecue restaurant that me and my family went to not long ago, my kids, they still talk about the robot. They want to go again just to see the robot who had a smiley face and would talk to you. If they can add some anthropomorphications on here, then I think we're good in this kind of format. I'm not all in on this.
See, the thing is, this should be totally flipped. This entire thing should be flipped. The robot should be in the back house and the person serving should be in the front house.
Okay.
So that you actually get the human experience. Yeah. You get that warm fuzz feeling of a human giving you food.
Yeah.
And then the robots are automating the food, making sure it's perfect, making sure everything is textbook every single time.
Yeah.
And then a person's actually coming out.
Yeah. It's fair. It's fair. Here's what I'll just bring this up since we were talking about Chick-fil-A. You think Chick-fil-A is ever going to roll one of these things out? I
Never.
don't think so. Never.
They have like 30 people working there a shift.
Yeah. and they're coming to your table and they're saying my pleasure.
Yeah.
Like that's going to happen.
Yeah.
It's like kind of crazy how good of a service you get at Chick-fil-A. Kind of.
Yeah. I have a bit that I do at Chick-fil-A where
You
I,
do.
I don't know. Nicole hates it, but I will, whenever we get Chick-fil-A, I tell the person that we're ordering with that I have been looking forward to this the entire week. she like doesn't like that I do that. But I'll be like, look, I've cleared my schedule for this. I am looking forward to this since Monday. This is what got me through this week. So we are pumped to be here.
It's like a bit. It's like a bit.
It's a
You do
great
it every
bit.
time.
I highly recommend it. I highly recommend it.
Did they say my pleasure like more times because you frame it that way?
Oh, people get pumped because they're like, gosh, well, and now he's pumped
Wow.
up about being here. We got to make sure
Wow.
this is crazy. I'm telling you, it's a fun bit to run.
It is my pleasure to take your order.
Yeah,
It is my pleasure to record
Yeah.
your order.
it's great. It's a fun time.
It is my pleasure to take your
Yeah.
monies. I like that bit. Last of our great finds, I think that you will definitely like this from like a cracked out kind of offering, B2B offering, cold email frame. Okay, scroll down and show us the video here, Producer Jack. I shall read. Okay, this tweet is from Everest Chris 6. Everest Chris 6. And the video here, which apparently we've got some lagging going on with it. We need the video. Let me read to you what's going on here. Claude Opus 5 and Seed Dance finds Shopify products. Okay, apparently this is all automated. Turns them into cinematic 3D landing pages and sends it to the owner.
That's fair.
Sends it
For
to the
them.
owner. You see the automated? I'm getting into Colin one-shot Dougherty here.
I'm trying to think of how they're pushing all this together.
Finds a product, creates the 3D cinematic landing page, then sends it to the owner. Here's what it does. Okay, let me isolate this. Let me give you the 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. And Producer Jack, bring this back when you have it. Pulls every Shopify store's catalog off its public products.json. Okay.
Interesting.
Drops any product without a clean front-on photo, lifts the label straight off their own product shot, rebuilds the product in new worlds, scene by scene. Seed Dance chains the scenes into one 15-second film. Remember how you talked about like you love it on a homepage when there's, the video that brings you in? Prices and copy drop in verbatim from their catalog, ships it as a scrolling landing page with shop buttons, records the scroll, and then DM/mails the owner the live link. Whole process can be fully automated with OpenClaw/Hermes.
Yeah, I agree. You could probably do all of that. Yeah, I mean that's amazing because it's a as a lead hook for an agency, fantastic.
Right?
Also, it follows a really key principle I really believe in, which is show don't tell. Which is instead of me being like, I can make an amazing landing page for you, it's like, hey, here's a landing page I finished. Do you want to purchase it? Yeah, this is sick.
I think something like this is a great idea. Can you click in on this video and show us, Jack?
Yeah, I want to see this whole thing. I
wanna
love
see the video.
Bora. I love
we
Bora.
got to see the video. Bora Bora, especially.
Great, really good brand.
Love. Okay. We're getting a little, we can't really see it here, but
that's okay.
Just picture in your mind's eye. Okay.
Feels good.
A
I feel
very
the vibes.
winsome, beautiful 3D animated Shopify landing page that has been created for you automatically. And now we shall move forward to a little.
Great.
See?
Look at that.
See what I'm talking about? Right? You see what I'm talking
Whoa.
about?
Wow.
Right?
Wow. I couldn't be more bullish on this.
Right? And then
An
think
agency
about
needs to do this.
like
An agency
that.
needs to do this.
Running automatically. Like that's
Yeah.
like juicy, man.
If you're an agency and you are worried about pipeline, which is the number one problem for all agencies,
Number one problem.
you should figure out how to build this weekend because this is sick. I'm pretty sure I figured out how they're piecing all of this together. We can go into the nerdy details of it or not, but I'm pretty sure I know how they're piecing all of this together.
Yeah, I figured that one shot Dougherty was gonna dig that.
Yeah, that was amazing. That's pretty cooked.
Pretty amazing. And Everest Chris 6. We'd love to talk about it because it seems very interesting. Moving forward to a little watch and react action. A consumer app, newly created, making 800K per last month alone. Face
What?
and body editor. There are some big principles here to take away for all of us in consumer. On our way there, a word from our sponsors over at Northbeam and TrendTrack. Play it for ladies and gentlemen. If you want to know what's really working right now, not what worked 6 months ago, but what's actually scaling on the market today, TrendTrack gives you full access to the marketing playbook of any brand in the world. From every Meta, Google, TikTok ad they run to every email newsletter they send their customers, your direct competitors, the biggest players on the market, is all there. All the market data centralized in one place, refreshed every 24 hours. Go to trendtrack.io and get hooked up with them today. Know what's actually working on the internet. Many thanks for TrendTrack being part of the show. If you're in the ads manager all day long, you know the problem. Every platform takes credit. Every dashboard tells a different story. Meta says this, TikTok says that. Shopify says I made this much, I spent that much. Sometimes it's hard to know which ad platform is telling the truth. Northbeam fixes this with their own proprietary data. Starting from the actual purchase, rebuilding the customer journey from real orders, real clicks, real verified ad views, and then pushing that measurement back into the ad platform so they optimize on what's actually driving your revenue, not what those platforms assume is driving your revenue. Start measuring what was previously unmeasurable. Go to northbeam.io, book your demo today. Many thanks for Northbeam being part of the show. We're back. We're back. We're back. This tweet, a little watch and react action, comes to us by way of Riley the Groove. That's how I found it. There is a new app called Face Lab, Face and Body Editor, okay, that is crushing on Instagram. It's made $800,000 last month. Okay. Ethan, yeah, Riley is the one who surfaced this for us. He says no ads, crazy. 200,000 downloads, $800,000 made, $4 per user. He says the LTV on body dysmorphia is apparently quite strong. Yes, it is. Ethan Kajigas, who originally created this tweet, he has this to say: this can't be real. This app made 800K last month. Okay. It lets you edit your body, change your waist, chest, belly, face. He says they're not selling photo filters. They're selling more likes on Instagram posts. The thing that I find wild about this is no ads, $4 per user. And here's what I would guess. I would just guess like there's already been a lot of these out there in the world, but I would think there's a lot of photo apps that can do this exactly. Make my waist thinner, like change my skin tone, all of the things. But this has made 800K just last month, $4 per user. And I like his framing here. This is true. Like, what are they really selling? Like, they're selling more likes. They're selling the dopamine of, yes, like people interacting, liking the photo. Like that's a really winsome frame for for finding potential customers. I think there's it's striking, to say the least. Your thoughts on this?
I mean, there's always money to be made in offering to make people more beautiful / attractive across the board, anywhere, whether it's apps, whether it's surgery, whether it's peptides, whether it's all the things. There's always money to be made. The maxims are always like, you can be more attractive, you can be more wealthy, you can be fitter, you can be happier, all of these things. You sell on all of that. This product will make you happier. This product will make you more happy. This product will make you more attractive. This product will make you wealthier. And so this is just a classic, we've always been selling this. We've been selling this since the beginning of time. This is going to make you more attractive to the opposite partner. Do you want it? Yes, probably.
Yes. Yeah, probably I do. Yeah, exactly. You can bring us back here, Producer Jack. My question is I don't know if there's I don't know like what the LTV is. Like, is there a subscription here? Like, if there is, probably smart for them.
Yeah.
It's kind of crazy to me too that somehow they have broken out in a category which, like you're underlining here, everybody's interested in this for all time. How can I look better and be more desirable to a significant other, a potential significant other? I would just think like 20 or 200 of these things should have already existed, making 800K per month. I don't know how this tool broke out. I don't know if it's like a specific like creator-led, creator army type approach with affiliates, etc. But somehow they're doing it with no paid ads. I would think they're doing some kind of affiliate offer and running it up with content. And that must be how they're gaining so much traction. I would think there's got to be a lot of these that already exist in the world, wouldn't you think?
Oh, you can cook one of these up in a weekend too, just with vibe coding with Claude Code. The real thing is like, how are they distributed? How are they pushing distribution for downloads? Is it through guys like Clavicular? Is it through XYZ girl in Miami? Is it through, name off all of the type of affiliates and all of the top possible distribution platforms? Is it through podcasts? Are they going through podcasts? I doubt it. But that's the key now, because you can build these things in a weekend. I mean, you and I could probably build this app. Realistically, you and I, we sit down in a weekend, we could probably whip this thing up and get something 95% of the way there. And then
you would do that?
Not really. I don't even edit my photos anymore. I feel like there's a push, pushing against the opposite of this. I feel like there's a push now with Gen Z/Gen Alpha where they're just like, here's my photo dump of unedited photos of what I did this weekend.
Yeah.
And it's like the total opposite of like, let me heavily tune my jaw and face and hair and eyes and teeth and muscles and blah, blah. It's like, here's me eating a hot dog this weekend.
Yeah.
That's my photo.
Yeah.
Dog.
Yeah. It's interesting. There's something to that. People are zigging. You can zag. You can zag. And be very winsome and popular with that as well. Moving forward, some words of wisdom in our closing time of the show. On our way there, some words from our sponsors over at Seguno and Rocked After Sale. Play it for us, producer Jack. If you're getting 5,000 orders a month and you can sprinkle in $3 to $4 extra on each one of those without touching your ads, wouldn't that be nice? Yeah, it would. That's what brands like Olakai, Cozy Earth, Groove Live are doing with Rocked After Sale every single day by adding post-purchase upsells and downsells from the cart through the thank you page, and then stacking an extra 30 to 50 cents just by showing offers from Disney Plus, HelloFresh, Venmo, etc. It's high margin revenue straight to your bottom line. You can be live in minutes. Go to aftersale.com/offers. Truly a no-brainer. Many thanks for Rocked After Sale being part of the show. Seguno is the only marketing suite that lives entirely inside of Shopify. What's that mean, Chris? Your emails, your pop-ups, your banners, your reviews, it's all there where you already work and play every day. And it means that you don't have to seed your trust to big email that's over-attributed data. With Seguno, your Shopify data is the email data. It's a big reason why they won the 2024 Shopify Build App of the Year. One-click automations, actual humans that can help you build for lean teams with big aspirations. Go get the advanced Shopify segmentation playbook at the URL scrolling across the screen. You get a free trial of the platform. Tell them Colin I sent you. It will extend that free trial to 30 days. Many thanks for Seguno being part of this show. Live selling in London, ladies and gentlemen, there is a new app that is here upon the interwebs, dedicated to live selling, and people are crushing with it. This story comes to us by way of Fortune, surfaced by the one and only Shannon Jean, king of re-commerce. He has this to say: many such cases. What are the many such cases, Shannon? The title of the article, People Can Go From 0 to 100, How Gen Z is Raking in $260,000 per month on a live stream auction app. What app is that? Tilt. Have you heard of Tilt?
I have not heard of Tilt.
I have not heard of Tilt. Apparently coming to us by way of the UK, in London, Tilt is a new live streaming app that people are winning with over there. A couple of quotes from this article. We think the entire future of commerce is going to change to video and live streams. That's a bold statement. That's a bold statement.
I could see it.
Whether you're a traditional retailer or a resale marketplace, the medium is going to change. Now, that is a bold statement. I will say live streaming, live commerce has been crushing in Asia for years now. It is making its way to North America and beyond. Different cultures do buy differently, but I have been very vocal about being for live streaming, live selling, etc. Of course, this is a live show, but the piece that I love so much is that it is it's kind of like the Davids and the Goliaths are set on the same plane. Because what? If you can get sweaty and sell said thing, be entertaining, be winsome. It doesn't require ad spend. Like
Yeah.
the margins of e-commerce or re-commerce begin to tilt in your favor again.
Yeah.
Whereas on some other platforms like Meta, etc., it has become increasingly not in your favor. That's what I love about this. A bold statement, though, from from Tilt.
Yeah.
We think the entire future of commerce is going to change to video and live streams. Your thought on this?
I mean, so if if you're in e-commerce, you should already be dipping your toes into live streaming pretty heavily.
Yeah.
So my thought with this is like, you should be live streaming from all of the platforms because there's fundamentally no downside for it, except there is only upside distribution and impressions. So when you live stream, it needs to go live across all channels. It needs to go live across TikTok. It needs to go live across Whatnot. It needs to go live across Tilt. Also needs to maybe go live across eBay.
On your
There needs-
website, too.
Facebook Live. There needs to be Facebook Live as well. You need to go live across everything. And then you have this ability to kind of like push out and maybe one of those takes off. But as an amalgamation of all of those impressions, it matters at the end of the day.
I don't know if there's any tool that can make you go live simultaneously across all of those. I mean, I think you would have to have,
That's easy.
have like 6 phones.
Yeah. Okay.
But I mean, you'd also have to like operationally, like you need help, like looking at what are people saying on Whatnot, versus what are the comments on TikTok. You know what I'm saying?
That's an interesting software opportunity right there. Is
An
like
interesting software op.
managing your vertical lives as a brand and then making sure it pushes to all and then make sure you're able to manage all the comments.
Isn't that an interesting software op?
For sure. Yeah, I mean that'd be fun, but I like the moat here, like the hill to climb here is really just it's another phone. You just get a second phone, you place it right next to the other one.
I don't know, man. That's a lot. That's a lot to manage. That's a lot to manage.
I don't think so.
And the comments, gosh.
The comments,
the inventory, like maybe you sold something, but it sold to a person on TikTok versus Whatnot. And like, I feel like the operations there are,
it's going to be a nightmare. It's going to be fun.
It's going to be a nightmare. It'd be fun, very fun. And apparently a new player in the game.
Yeah.
Is it the future of all commerce? We shall see. But Tilt making some noise and everyone should pay attention. Number 2 inside of our words of wisdom here in closing time from the interwebs. Do ugly ads still win? Methinks that they do. Sometimes they even win with your clients inside of the brand space. This video here, this video is starts off with, I intentionally made the second design ugly, so the client picks the first design I actually like, and it backfired. Let's play this sound on Producer Jack and see what transpired. Scroll to the ugly one. Scroll to the ugly one, so we can see that. Yeah, stop it there. Stop it there. Look at this. What's that called? Nami Matcha. Buy now, 50% off. You know,
Love.
Hey, like the truth is, you know, I think some would argue this is costing you some brand equity, but hey, you never know. This guy, this second design may make you more money. It's true. It may. Your thoughts on this?
Dude, you fell for the bait. This is clearly her advertising her design ability with the first one. The second one is merely just a hook to pull you into the video. The first one's her actual skills, and now you see it, and now you can reach out and hire her. Maybe that's what she's doing. Maybe that's what she's doing. I don't know. I mean, it's definitely it's a good hook. It's a great hook. Great hook. Breaking down the actual video itself, it's a great hook and a good ability for someone to potentially get leads from. I think that's really true, to be honest. That's a great point. That's a great point. Looking at the meta of it, dude. Freelance designers should do this. I go meta with it so quick. That's a great point. Something to learn from here. There you go. How to win more design clients. Last of our words of wisdom, Shelby Sapp. Oh my gosh. Shelby Sapp? She's cooking.
She is the like women's high ticket sales, like Miami, like extraordinaire. She's been posting on short form for forever, like 3 times a day, every day, etc. She just put on a in-person conference. 3,000 people attended. Price was anywhere from 5 to 20,000. And she may have made about 50 mil off of this event, which is crazy and awesome for her. Nicholas Case had this to say: a good entrepreneurship heuristic, I think very wise here, that he lays out. To exploit the value of your skills is to bring them to markets where you're the opposite of the norm. Attractive female playing video games, great example. Attractive male cooking, great example. Gordon Ramsay. You know what I'm saying?
Fair.
High tech and low tech industries. Ads in markets that don't run ads, etc. Changing the context around your skills is oftentimes more valuable and easier than improving your skills. There's something very interesting about that and appropriate.
I honestly think this is more a lesson of owning your audience and putting in the hours of putting in content to build an audience that you can then sell an event that has an incredible conference that you are then making $50 million. She couldn't come out of the gate day one trying to sell an event at $5,000 to $20,000 ticket prices.
No.
She just didn't build the audience whatsoever. But she has built the audience for multiple years at a time now, and she's very good at short form. I've seen a couple of videos.
Great at it.
She's great at it. And also the audience that she is selling to is salespeople that index into a higher net worth.
Yeah.
And so for them to put in like $20,000, yes, it's a hefty chunk of money. But for them to then possibly make an extra 100, 200, 300,000 a year because of the skills that they're actually grabbing from this, that's huge. And you forgot that there's a total upsell here within, okay, I'm going to sell this to my company to pay for as well.
That's true.
I want you to upskill the team.
Yeah.
We're going to all go to this. We're going to do 3 or 4 of us. This is going to be an upskilling type of event for the sales team. And we're going to pull in an extra $500,000, $1 million as a team now.
Yeah. I think that's totally the case. She has put in the hours and the reps, and she's owning her audience, and she's built a lot of value with them, for them. And now here's the event, like come to the event. And there's, a number of ways for everyone to benefit, etc. It's also just interesting though, like double clicking on this point that Nicholas is making, the type of content that she makes, like males are very used to seeing on the internet, in the sense of like, hey, here is like, let's just pretend like Shelby was a male speaking to a male audience, young, attractive. Let's say he's swole, he's built, he's making lots of money, he's living in Miami. Like, hey, you can have this car that I'm driving and it's easy. How is it easy? You just got to get into high ticket sales. Like, it's so awesome. Look at me by the pool. I'm by the pool and I'm going to go eat steak later. I'm going to hang out with the boys on the yacht, and there's going to be beautiful women there. And I'm driving a sick car there, and I'm going to drive a sick car back. It's super easy. Why? Because I do high ticket sales. You should be in high ticket sales. Like, here's a funnel. Like, let me coach you. Let me get you into this. Like, bro, it's easy. Okay. Well, Shelby has like taken that same playbook, but done it as a female for other females. Like, that different context is like mind blowing. It's like, who else is doing that? Who else is doing that like her? I don't know. I don't know if there's anyone who is doing that, but it's a similar like playbook for a totally different audience. And she's crushing, and she's winning, and she's helping. She's helping people like learn how to sell, learn to get into sales, etc. Learn how to win in sales, and also bringing other incredible female entrepreneurs to events like this. I think one of the Sharks was there from Shark Tank.
Nice.
I think it was Lori. Anyway, I find this like context switching to be, I find it interesting, and owning the audience and putting in the hours to deliver the value, and then be able to pull off an event like this. Pretty awesome. Pretty incredible.
Pretty awesome. Yeah. And the fact that basically that male one that you were talking about, the male guy, has been played out 15,000 times.
So many times.
So that is also a proven ground for her where she can go in and be like, well, it's already proven that it works. I'm gonna do my spin on it.
Yeah. Yeah. And she's obviously done an incredible job with that. Kudos to her. Moving forward to our moment of Zen as we close out the show here. A little word from one of our new sponsors, the one and only Propel. Ladies and gentlemen, people are the most important part of your business. Are they not? Yes, they are. Finding real A players, that is hard and it's incredibly time consuming. Propel is the best recruitment agency out there for e-com brands and agencies. They're marketing operations specialists who source talent from the US, Latin America, and beyond for some of the best companies in our space. We're talking video editors, graphic designers, media buyers, and more in Latin America, to managers, directors, heads of departments, VPs in the US. Okay. They can help you build the team that you actually need to scale faster. The best part is they work on performance. Okay. You only pay a one-off fee once you hire someone. So there are no retainers, no ongoing costs, etc. Every hire comes backed by a 3-month guarantee. So if you're an e-com brand or agency that's looking to build an incredible team, I recommend them. Go talk with them. Go to wearepropel, PROPPEL.com. We are Propel /ecom-cowboy-propel. And if you mention Ecomm Cowboy, you're going to get 10% off your first hire with Propel. Go talk with them. Many thanks for Propel being part of the show. Now, as we close out here, Colin Dougherty, on this Monday of Mondays, a little look back to 2007. I just want you to play this video, Producer Jack. I'm going to talk. I'm going to talk as it plays. This is the moment Halo 3 was being released at midnight, apparently. I didn't even know. I don't think I remembered Halo 3 coming out in 2007, but it was. And Grit Cult has this to say: this world no longer exists, as one is getting their Mountain Dew Code Red, a bag of Cheetos, some candies, and awaiting the release of Halo 3 back in 2007. As we close out here, some words of wisdom, parting words, final parting shots from you, Colin Dougherty.
Don't get fooled by this, and don't fall into this. The world's always getting better every day. Don't have this golden age view of everything. The world's getting better every single day.
The world continues to get better. We go up and to the right. Ladies and gentlemen, many thanks for Chris Orzy, Orzy Media, joining us at the front of the show. Also, Chase Mohseni, co-founder of CreativeOS. Many thanks to Oscar Adelman, founder and CEO of Remi, and Alan Cevallos, co-founder of MediaJet, for joining us on show today. Many thanks to Slash, Postscript, Rocked, Aftersell, Sati, Proxima, Universal Ads, Ty, TrendTrack, new sponsor Propel, Rich Panel Intelligence, Northbeam, and Seguno for making the show possible. Thank you for joining us. We will be back tomorrow. See you on the other side.